Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, playing a bit of Domination here in the Map Biolab, bringing out the ASM-1 Speakeasy. And if you caught my video from yesterday, which was an ASM-1 weapon guide, where I basically looked at my create class of the ASM-1, went very in-depth, showing you guys all the different perks and attachments and everything that I run with this gun. If you caught that video, towards the end of it, I showed a little bit of gameplay using the class I made, and this is that gameplay. So here you'll actually be able to see the entirety of the gameplay. Of course, you saw probably the final 20 seconds of this gameplay, but here you'll actually be able to see the entire thing. It's a fun one, because I was trying out some new kill streaks. I get suggestions all the time. That's the thing about YouTube, man. I'm always subject to constant feedback, be it on Twitter, be it the messages or the YouTube comment system or anything like that. I'm always subject to constant feedback, so I'm always reading stuff you guys write me. And people are often suggesting to me that the Warbird is a lot better if you put the AI aggressor on it, which is basically the idea of an attack helicopter, or perhaps a payload, depending on how good it does, right? And other people are also saying to try out the sentry gun, basically make it a sentry, and make it so it's got the 360-degree radius, as well as make it so it locks on, all that kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, okay, we'll try it out. We'll try out these kill streaks, and they actually do pretty good for me. I didn't realize how well I actually did in this gameplay, because my kill streaks are somewhat passive kill streaks, although I'm hesitant to call them passive kill streaks because passive means they're not going to be getting kills. A definition of a passive kill streak would be like a UAV or a system hack gun, things that don't actually do any damage to anybody. But these things are basically AI controlled. I just kind of place down my sentries, I throw up my helicopters, I just go on about my business, and they actually end up giving me a bunch of kills, and I didn't even realize it while I was playing this match, so that actually turned out pretty well. It's actually kind of fun just trying out all these different kill streaks and trying out what works, what doesn't. Yeah, it makes so I can make better videos here on YouTube. I know having expanded knowledge on just about everything within the game. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit, if I may, about skill-based matchmaking. So I made a video, I think, just over a week ago talking about skill-based matchmaking, and there's a lot of valid criticisms about that video. To summarize that video for you guys, basically I thought that skill-based matchmaking itself is actually a pretty good thing. I do not mind going up against people of an equal skill level to me and constantly being challenged. And I basically talked about how it should be like that. You see people all the time, they act like they're very good players, and they get all these crazy gameplays and stuff, but they end up facing terrible players to do it. Like, well, if skill-based matchmaking, you won't have that. It's, ends up working out best for everybody, especially here on YouTube. But there were some valid criticisms of that, and I figured I would go ahead and expand upon that here in this video. So the biggest thing that people replied to me about skill-based matchmaking is, it was actually a lot of people didn't really seem to mind that much. Of course, there were some people that minded, but a lot of people didn't really seem to mind that much that the people they were going up against were of an equal skill level to them. Some people just wanted to face bad players all the time, and that's okay. I guess I understand that. It's Call of Duty. It's your free time. You just want to get on and just feel very good, just dominate people, right? I understand that. But a lot of people, the big problem they have is actually the connection. People really get upset because they feel as though skill-based matchmaking is actually taking precedent over actual connectivity. So you're being matched up against, people that are from like the UK, or people from there from Australia, or people just are halfway across the world from you, just because they are of an equal skill level to you. And I actually say that could be the case. I remember when the game first came out, I think all you guys can actually agree with me on this. When the game first came out at launch of Advanced Warfare, the connectivity was atrocious, wasn't it? Like, every single game, it felt like it was just so bad. Every game was like a red bar and stuff. And like I would get in like arguments with like my brother and stuff, because we're like, no, dude, we're on the red bar. But he's like, oh no, but I'm not even lagging him. I'm like, but it says we're on the one bar. Then we start arguing whether or not the bars, like the connectivity bars or ping bars, even mean anything. We're getting so confused about how it all went down, and the connection was generally bad when Call of Duty Advanced Warfare came out. Honestly, I have to say it has kind of smoothed out since then, but at the exact same time, you do still have a pretty good number of games that are pretty exceptionally laggy. And if you try to compare that with as much of an open mind as you can to like Black Ops 2 or Call of Duty Ghosts, I don't remember the connection being this bad upon launch on any other Call of Duty games. I really think that could be a thing. So it is possible that the idea of skill-based matchmaking, which apparently is actually in Advanced Warfare, is actually affecting the connectivity of our matches. Now keep in mind, it's not every game. Some people like to act like skill-based matchmaking makes it so they're on an unlimited one bar all the time, and they're never having any good connection ever. It's like, I can't do it. I'm too damn good at this game. A one bar. Because I'm good at this game, I get a one bar. It's how it works. And like, I understand that people can get frustrated at that, but it's really not the case. You don't have a bad connection every game, but it does happen pretty frequently, and so much so that I would say it's probably more frequent than other Call of Duty games. So I do see that. I recognize that as a valid criticism of skill-based matchmaking. Another thing that is really kind of against skill-based matchmaking is the idea of reverse boosting. So reverse boosting has become a thing. As more people are learning about skill-based matchmaking, as it's becoming widely accepted into the Call of Duty community, more people are starting to reverse boost. So what is reverse boosting, you guys may be asking? Have you been in a game of domination, a game of momentum, hardpoint even, something like that, a kill-based game mode, where there are just people on your team or on the opposing team just repeatedly killing themselves, rocket launchers, grenades, anything like that. You at the end of the game, they're 0 and 140, something like that. People are doing that to try to abuse the idea of skill-based matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking itself is, while no one's actually clear on it, it's basically put together by some kind of algorithm involving like score per minute and kill-death ratio, win-loss ratio. Some people are even arguing perhaps prestige. I really don't know. It's somehow formulated, and so what people do is they go in these games, and they basically get 0 score, blow themselves up a ton to basically make it so their KDs drop, and then they also make it so their wins-losses drop, because of course if your team's full of people that are just blowing themselves up, they're also going to be losing a bunch. They're basically trashing all their stats on purpose in hopes that because of skill-based matchmaking, they will from then on actually start getting put up against very, very bad players. And that has actually become a lot bigger of an issue than I foresaw it actually becoming, because a lot of people are having this happen to them. I get pictures sent to me all the time on Twitter. I get PMs sent to me on YouTube where people are asking about this. Like, does this happen to me a lot? Am I getting in these games? Me personally, I don't actually see it a ton, but I see it so much via Twitter and via YouTube and stuff like that. And even just from other commentators talking about it as well, this reverse boosting is becoming a bigger and bigger problem as time goes by in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It really is. Here's my idea about reverse boosting, right? I actually don't care if you cheat in a video game. I do not care at all whatsoever. You can cheat in a video game to your heart's content as long as it does not negatively affect another player. So the idea for me, like, if you're thinking of single player games, I do not care. I don't care if you cheat somehow to get all the achievements in a single player game. I don't care. I don't care if you make it so you have all the health in the world. I don't care. I don't care if you make it so you can't die. I don't care if you make it so you one-shot everything. As long as it's a single player game, I don't care. In terms of multiplayer games, I even still don't care about certain things. Like if it's Call of Duty, right? And let's say there is a 10th Prestige lobby, similar to what happened back during Modern Warfare 2, where there was these 10th Prestige lobbies where you just go in, get a kill, and suddenly, bam, your 10th Prestige, everything unlocked. I don't care if that happens. I really don't. Because unlike what a lot of people seem to think, Prestige does not equal skill in Call of Duty. It never has, never will. It just is not a thing. Some people say, well, they're max rank in the game. They have all the guns unlocked. And it's like, yeah, but so could you if you just didn't Prestige. It's not a big deal. It does not make any sense why people get upset about that. So if you want to get to a 10th Prestige lobby, if those exist, go for it. It does not bother me. Other stuff like map exploits, like getting underneath the map. We know Advanced Warfare here had a ton of map exploits. Getting underneath the map, or going outside the map, or going above the map with like an elevator glitch. If you want to do any of that, I don't care, as long as it does not affect another player. As long as it does not negatively affect another player, I should say. So if there's like a map exploit and you and your friends want to go into a private match and do this map exploit, go for it. That's fun. I used to do that stuff all the time back in Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4 and World of War. There's just so many glitches in those games, right? They're fun. But doing it online, doing it in the multiplayer where it actually negatively affects other players, that is crappy. We're all here together to play Call of Duty and have some fun while doing it. And by doing that, and by being a reverse booster, and you're making it so, like, let's say me and two of my friends. You've seen a lot of my gameplays at like Cardinal and Fox now. They're probably the people I'm playing with because they play the most out of all my friends. It's usually us three playing, right? And then my other three teammates, let's say, are all just reverse boosting, and they're just sitting there blowing themselves up one after another, one after another, one after another with RPGs. Basically, now because of those guys, we're playing a 3-on-6. We're dying a bunch because it's 3-on-6 in like a domination match. We're trying our best to try and get the flags and stuff, but it's 3-on-6. The odds are really stacked against us. We end up dying a bunch. We end up losing. End up getting a horrible score and just getting really frustrated. At that point, you're really negatively affecting our game. You're negatively affecting the fun that we're having, and you're actually just in general negatively affecting other players. And at that point, I think it's something that shouldn't be happening. So because of that, reverse boosting, I hate it. I hate it. But even like normal boosting, like back in the day, like back in World at War, maybe people did this on newer Call of Duties, but I can't remember ever hearing about it. But I know back in World at War, people would go to domination and they would boost. They would have boost in their clan tag, and basically we would get like 2 full parties of 6, right? And we would go join a game of domination together online, mind you. We would go to the B flag and then just take turns capturing it. And we just get tons and tons and tons of points, right? And I was boosting, and because of that, I didn't care if people did that back during World at War, because it did not actually affect anybody. As long as it was 2 full parties, no one in there was getting upset or anything. It was a fine thing. Anyone could do it. It was great. If you're just doing that to get your levels, that's fine. You're not actually negatively affecting other players. But reverse boosting is negatively affecting other players, so I think reverse boosting is pretty bad. If you think of the idea of the connection, right? You think of how bad the connection has been since Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has come out, and it's getting better. I gotta say, I think you guys can admit as well, it has been getting better. It's a lot better than what it was at launch. With the connection being better, if the connection is going to get better, that's great. But with the way the connection is, and it's still kind of unstable. And then you look at the idea of reverse boosters and how big of a problem those guys are becoming over the passing weeks. I think the idea of skill-based matchmaking might actually maybe should be removed. I don't know. I was in the last video I made about this. I was in like such favor of it because the entire principle of it was like, you know, I like facing people that are the same skill level as me. I like a little bit of a challenge. Sure, it's fun to go up against bad players and just kind of poop bomb and make YouTube videos out of it and stuff. But at the same time, I respect other people's right to play the game. I want these people to enjoy the game just as much as me. And if they're the same skill level as me, then we should go up against each other, see who's better, have some fun. You know, it's a good experience overall, I think. But if you look at the idea of the connection, and how the connection has been pretty inconsistent here with Advanced Warfare so far, and the fact that reverse boosting is actually happening, perhaps they should actually just go ahead and get rid of skill-based matchmaking. I don't know. I can't really make that call. Right now, I like to see it happen, but I would like to see some kind of punishment for reverse boosting. If the connection does get better, which keep in mind it has been getting better since the game came out, if connection continues to get better and reverse boosters somehow get permanently banned, or they get somehow I don't know how, I can't even begin to come up with an idea as to how you would punish reverse boosters, but if somehow they were to, you know, just go away, then I think skill-based matchmaking would still be a cool thing, but until that happens, I really have no idea. So that's those are my thoughts on skill-based matchmaking. I love it, and at the same time, I hate it because it does negatively affect the game in some respects, and I really don't have any solutions to make it any better. So that is my opinion on skill-based matchmaking. I thought I would elaborate a little bit more on that here in this video. My last video, I thought it was pretty succinct with it, but it turns out I wasn't. I wanted to cover a little bit more things on it. So that is today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Those are my opinions on skill-based matchmaking. I don't feel as though I'll need to make a third one. I feel as though I've basically got everything off my chest right now. But yeah, I wanted to make this video, and hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. And tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, ladies and gentlemen. So there will be a special Christmas edition of Dear Nero going up tomorrow, where hopefully you guys will check that out. And yeah, that'll be pretty fun. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Of course, let me know your guys' opinions on skill-based matchmaking and the entire issue in the comment section below. I'd definitely be interested to read about that, interact with some of you guys about that, see your guys' thoughts on the idea of skill-based matchmaking versus the connectivity versus the fun of the game versus reverse boosting and all the stuff that really entails with skill-based matchmaking. I would definitely be interested to read your opinions on that. Let me know about that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.